and welcome, and thank you for joining us. We are here, and I don't think people are probably joining quite yet because it takes a minute to get this going, but it looks like we are getting going here. I don't think people Whoops. Okay, welcome. So this is one of my favorite things to do because I get to hear what the Sacred Soul Alignment family is doing with these tools in their own lives and out in the world. And I often hear things that I didn't know before. One time I heard that Sonia had gotten off of medication that she'd been on for years and he had healed PTSD, and I found that out on one of these roundtable discussions. So you guys are in for a treat if you're here watching live or on the replay. If you are here live, please feel free to ask any questions, and I will present those to the Sacred Soul Alignment practitioners that are joining me. So we've got quite a few people who have signed up to join for this. So I'm just going to call on a couple of people, and we're just going to get started and dive right in. So Cecilia, I'm going to bring you on. And how do I do this? Okay, add spotlight, replace spotlight. There we go. Hello, thank you for being here, Cecilia.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to speak on this because it's been so life-changing for myself and for people I've worked with. For myself, I began very low self-confidence. I had been abused in every form in childhood, and through my adulthood, I had a great deal of trouble speaking up for myself. I was a people pleaser, and I can say was, this is good. And I had very low self-confidence. I didn't know what self-love was. And I kept thinking, when do we get to be the adult? Because I never felt like I was one. I felt like I was, like they say, the imposter, like just act as if and it'll happen. That was 2020. So 2 years since I began the first course with you, the certification course. And in applying it just to myself, I have built self-confidence. I speak my truth. Where before, if somebody said something to me that was aggressive, I would run away and go and cry and wonder, how do I deal with this? And now I'm actually able to not only not cry and take it as an attack, I'm actually able to speak back to it and be able to stand in confidence. And it could have been joking, and I could come back with a smart remark back to them and carry on. And I've been able to do healing for others and actually able to see results in them, from kids with autism to being almost nonverbal, to be able to speak, to people with pains. One lady with a pain in her back and couldn't walk. For 7 years, she was bent over and using a cane. 20 minutes in our session, her back stopped hurting, and it was cleared with relationship healings, and has never gone back. Her back is still wonderful. She's still able to walk. And amazing. So, yes, and eventually I will actually be doing this out in the public. But the confidence I built and self-love, I know what it is, and I do feel like I'm an adult now. So
that's beautiful.
I've merged my inner child and brought everything into where it's supposed to be. So it's been wonderful, and I'm very grateful to have come on this journey with you. So thank you, Alicia.
Well, that's so beautiful. Thank you for that share, Cecilia. Thank you for being here to join us today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm going to bring Steph on next. Let's see. Let me add my own spotlight here. Okay, let me find Steph here and replace spotlight. Hi, Steph. Okay, let's see. I think you're muted. There you go. Hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie, and I'm going to tell you a story. So I learned Sacred Soul Alignments 2 years ago, and every 6 months, some weird something will happen to me. And it's a way for me to check into my body and figure out what is going on. Usually there's something. Recently I had a freak accident. It was the week before Christmas. I had a freak accident where I was lighting a very long ceremony candle, and I used one of those barbecue matches, and I struck the match. And the next thing I know, there's flames on my forehead, and I end up burning off part of my bangs, and here's part of them, so you can see. And I had second-degree burns all over my forehead. I used Sacred Soul alignments, and the universe gifted me another tool to work with Elisa's Sacred Soul alignments. And this is the little bit I have left to heal.
Wow.
And you really can't even tell. So this little bit is the little piece left that is still hanging on, but this has all been regenerated.
Amazing. You've had some incredible physical feelings.
Yes, I have. So like I said, every 6 months or so, my body goes in crisis mode. My back will go out, my hips will go crooked, I'll lose my voice. I can't physically, to the point where I can't move. And the message was, you need to rest. So I had more of that awareness that when my body says, look, you need to rest, and I have the thought, I don't push myself, I listen, because when I don't, my body will take me out. It just takes me out.
Yeah.
So, and then I have to play, all right, body, what are you telling me? Let me call in some Sacred Soul alignments. What I love about them the most is you start having an awareness of how to use the tools, as Elise always calls them, cocktails. So I used random weird ones a lot of the times. Like I'll call in a flush activation with the like a musculoskeletal with a rose, and then it's almost like I whatever it was, like it flushes out. Or again, using Sacred Soul alignments, I've gotten a lot of gifts from the universe, which I guess, and I have now more of that awareness, which I didn't have before. And now I can also see them in other people's field. Well, I'll be like, hey, you got something out there that you might want to call in.
Yes, you did that for me the other day. You saw a symbol, and you brought that to my awareness. So that was pretty cool.
Yep. And I think part of that is with the Sacred Soul alignments, right? You get used to the energy packets coming in. You kind of start have that recognition that things are in the field, and you start learning. When I'm in my healing sessions, I do divine alignments using human design, and Sacred Soul alignments are part of that. And when something comes up for somebody, I'll just hear them. Like I just hear, you want to call this, and like I said, it makes a weird cocktail, but
Right.
it does what it's supposed to do. And I've had people tell me like, wow, that's amazing. And like I said, a lot of your tools work with the ones that I was gifted. So it's just amazing how deep all of these things go and how they rejuvenate.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Steph, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good. Okay, I'm gonna replace spotlight. I think I've got this down. Good. Okay, so Rashmila, I'm gonna bring you on first, then Zara, then Caroline, and then Amanda. So Rashmila is in India, and it's like 1 or 3 or something in the morning for you. So I'm gonna bring you on next. Hello, beautiful. Thank you for being here.
Hi, hi, Alicia. Thank you. Yeah, it's a little late, and I really wanted to come in. And what I was feeling about SSA right now was the whole intuition piece, because I've had a pattern in my life where the people closest to me, whom I tend to trust the most, have changed how they are with me, and there have been lies and betrayal. But because I've gained so much strength from SSA, the whole self-esteem has gone skyrocketing high. The self-love piece has gone skyrocketing high. And because my intuition has become so strong, uh, and because the self-love piece is so strong, I can like easily see through anything, and it doesn't even hurt so bad, because I know that what I'm feeling into is correct. And I have more trust in myself than and my healing abilities, which have been enhanced and strengthened so much with your tools, that it's very easy to see uh, who is giving me downloads. Like I met this person and I could detect that, okay, he's installing a light technology into me. He didn't know what he was doing, but I could detect it because
Ah,
I've learned so much from you, and I could literally feel into the whole energy of what he was sending me
wow.
versus what my closest friend was sending me, which was lies. Um, so it's been an amazing journey working with you, and I love how the tools keep upgrading, and how, I mean, the most important thing is how generous you are around this whole modality, and how I really feel like this is my family that I can always count on, and I always have a place to come to no matter what I face in my life. I think that's a huge, huge, huge blessing for me, especially coming from India, and feeling like a person from a third world country type of a thing, and still feeling like, oh my God, this is my family. So I think that's
Yes.
the most beautiful and precious thing for me to have found you and the whole SSA family.
Beautiful. Thank you, Rashmila. And it's been such an amazing thing to witness your journey. I think you came in to Sacred Alignment in 2018 and you've just
Yeah.
grown amazingly. So it's been beautiful to witness. Thank you for joining us this,
Thank
whatever
you.
time it is for you. What time is it in India? Is it like 3 in the morning?
It's 12:45 a.m.
Wow.
in the
Well,
morning.
you can go to bed now. Thank you for staying up and joining us today.
Of course, yeah. Thank you. Lots of love to you and everybody.
Love to you too. Beautiful. Okay, we're just going to move right along. I'm loving this. So I'm going to bring Zara on. Replace spotlight. Hello, thank you for being here. And let's see.
Hi, everyone. I love the stories that people have been sharing. Like, just hearing them brings me so much joy. So, I think the perspective that I wanted to bring and share is the perspective of a newbie, someone that was brand new to kind of learning about spiritual healing and connection. I was at a place where I was diagnosed with anxiety. And so my options were to get on medication or to really start to look for tools and take a deep dive into my healing. And so at that time, the universe was already talking to me because Elisa and Sacred Soul Alignments kind of came into my life. And I'll be honest, I was a skeptic initially to start. I would ask questions like, what is higher self, how do I connect, and people in the community were so generous. Like, they were so kind to people that are exploring and that are new, and they'll share stories with you, they check in on you, they provide you with little tips and tricks. Like, between Alyssa and Sandra, I think they were just giving me the best advice to actually sit down. I was so basic in that, like I said, I was asking what higher self was and how do I connect with that and what is that like. And I was a little bit uneasy about using the tools because we hear about all these powerful things that happened, and I'm like, what if something happens and I don't know what to do about it? But what you get in this program is a family, you get a community, you get a safe place to practice, and you get the space that you need to develop and grow in yourself. And so I have continued to use the tools in my own healing. I was someone that was interested in doing this as part of me first. And if I'm going to put anything out there in the world, it's always because I know that I've tried it and it works for me. And I use them today. I bring them in as I need them. And I can bring in the same tool 3 weeks later and have a totally different experience. And that's the joy and beauty of these alignments. They bring you what you need when you need it and how you need it. And if you're wondering, oh, I felt this and I'm not sure about this, is this normal? Is this not okay? You have people that you can ask and you can get that knowledge for. And a lot of the time, Melissa's great at just saying, sit with it, stay with it, don't question it. Because for people that are in their head a lot, you really do have to learn to get into your heart and that intuition piece. And this program allows you to get it. So people that are starting this journey, if you're wondering if this is for you because you hear about all these lovely experiences, I'm here to say, hell yes, sign up now. Because it's lovely. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, safe space for you to learn about you and to really grow as a person and to become the best version of yourself.
That is beautiful. Well, that's a perfect way to place to stop right there. Thank you, Zara.
Thank
That was
you.
a beautiful share. I love that. And such an important perspective from somebody who's just learning about all of this stuff, because this class really does meet you where you are. Those tools meet you where you are. And that was a just perfect sharing. Thank you so much, Zara. And to kind of go with the other end of the spectrum with another practitioner who has been doing healing work for decades, I'm going to bring Caroline Nixon on and ask you to share. Hi, Caroline.
There we go. I don't know if I can follow that. That was awesome. Yeah, so I've been a healer for many, many years, lots of modalities, but I remember when Alicia first started this modality, and I didn't go through the first round, but the second round I did, and I just knew. Like I didn't need to read the shiny page or the business, the landing page. I just knew in my heart that this was amazing, got that full body reaction. And so I signed up, and I've been through many, many rounds, and I'm an advanced sacred soul alignment practitioner now. But I will tell you this, what I love about this modality is that it's easy. It is easy to use. Once you go through and get the basics, anybody can do it. I run alignments all day long. Alicia and I were laughing a while ago when we did another interview. I'll just walk through my house doing laundry, running alignments on myself. And sometimes I have a really big reaction and like I yawn. I'm a yawner. And I know when I need it because I have a really big yawn, and sometimes not so much. Then I know, okay, I'm good. I can maybe try something else. And so I actually am a dork. I actually made a muscle testing chart with all the alignments, and I can just run through the pages and say, if it doesn't just come to me, I can do that. And because I'm just dork that way. I like to do that. But one thing that I've noticed within my own business is that it has helped me grow intuitively, psychically. I have my own modalities that have come not necessarily out of it, but because of all the attunements and things. Right. I have my own way, but I still bring the alignments into my signature program, which is helping women release weight. And I bring that aspect of energy healing and all the emotional and the mental and the spiritual aspects that need to be addressed into that healing. And sacred soul alignments are a huge part of it. So I just can't say enough wonderful things about it. And Alicia's amazing. I've known her for years. We've worked together. Yes. She's, from the heart, and every one of her practitioners are amazing. And we all have our own experiences with it. So that's all I have to say, I think.
Beautiful, Caroline. Thank you so much for being on here.
Yeah.
I have my own spotlight here. There we go. I just love hearing from all of you guys, and I love the color of your wall. Every time I see you online, I'm just like, oh, I love the color of that wall. And you're doing some powerful work, like you said, your signature program for weight, and we have worked with each other. We've been each other's clients and all the things. So I love how we can just support each other in this community, and I'm supported by all of you as well. So Amanda, I'm going to bring Amanda on next. Let's see here. Spotlight. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here, to take part and speak about how wonderful sacred soul alignment is. I joined in the spring round in 2019. It was the second modality that I learned after Reiki. It has totally changed my life. I'm not the same person. I'm the best version of me, and I'm the best mom I can be, and I'm the best teacher that I can be. And I'm just so happy to be able to speak about it. And I'm so happy there isn't a day that goes by that I'm using the alignments every day. And it is a really beautiful, easy to use modality. And I just want to say that the community is beautiful. It's a beautiful family that you're part of. Alicia has the biggest heart, and so do all the other practitioners. And I'm friends with many of them. And we're in contact, and you have lots of support to learn and use a really, really powerful yet gentle healing tool. So
Beautiful.
yeah, I can't say enough.
Thank you so much, Amanda. That was perfectly concise and beautiful. I love it. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And I know you have to hop off and take your daughter somewhere. So this is fun. This is moving right along really smoothly. I love this. And I love so many of you guys are talking about the community. And that's an aspect of what I wanted to create when I started out was a safe community for like-minded people who are on the same path to join together and be able to not only support each other, but just create this huge ripple effect in the world that we're all creating together through a shared life goal for humanity. So I'm happy that so many of you guys are speaking to that. So those are the people that told me they needed to go first, I think. So who is ready to jump in? Carrie, I'm just going to go by whose hand I see here. I'm going to bring you on, Carrie Ann. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, thanks for being
Hi.
here.
Oh, I'm honored to be here. Thank you for allowing me to come in and share my little experience with you in Sacred Soul Alignment. I've been part of the Sacred Soul Alignment community for about 2 years now, and it has also changed my life. Still working on my confidence, my self-love, self-worth. This has trickled down to our daughter, who's 15. I'm fairly new in energy work, so I was able to take your programs, and I've actually advanced from Sacred Soul Alignment. I think I've taken about all of your certification programs now, and I love it. They work. My eyes are open. My heart is open. I'm able to run them. I'm able to, these are empowering tools. I'm able to empower myself with your programs and with these tools. And I have a 15-year-old who has severe allergies, asthma, very sensitive to energies. I myself am sensitive to energies. I have a neurological health issues for the past 14 years. And as symptoms come up, as things come up, emotions come up, I'm able to shift and clear these things right there on the spot. You know, a lot of times these symptoms progress and we have to go, we see many doctors, and those have trickled down, and we're not seeing them as often. We're not seeing them as much because I feel empowered. I'm able to help my daughter. I'm able to help myself. You know, we have a lot of uninvited energies that come in and out of our house. And I now confidently, with Sacred Soul Alignment and Sacred Light tools, I'm able to clear those on my own. I don't have to call somebody. I don't have to reach out to somebody. I don't have to ask for help. I can do it on my own, and I know how. And you know, my daughter would text me and say, "Hey, something's going on up here. Can you come up, help clear it?" Okay, go up. I'll ask her, "Is it gone?" She goes, "Yep, it's gone."
I love it. I love it. Yes.
Yes. So it is. It is. I'm very thankful. I'm having fun. I'm learning so much. I love being part of your community and this community, and you are so full of love and support and healing for everyone and constantly. And thank you, Alicia, for everything that you do and you bring forward to us.
Thank you so much, Carrie Ann. Thank you for being here. And I'm so glad for those of us who have these tools for our children who are so sensitive. The younger generation seems to be just extra sensitive. And I don't know what I would do if I didn't have these healing tools for myself and for my daughters. So thank you for sharing that perspective, Carrie Ann. And Victoria has her hand raised, and then Athena, I'm going to bring you on. And then if anybody else needs to go first, you can just, or if you're going to be ready, you can just type in the comments. So Victoria, I'm going to bring you on. Hello.
There we go. Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Hi.
Yes. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. So a bit of a story, Sacred Soul Alignment came into my life right into the first few months of the pandemic, which was absolutely perfect. By then I've been doing healing work for a long time. It's been with me since like age 11, and I was a Reiki master and doing all kinds of fun things. And then a dear friend of mine and a soul sister told me, so I have this amazing modality that I've been exploring, and the woman who teaches it is actually from your area, because I'm in Linwood, Washington, and I know we're somewhere in the vicinity.
Right.
Um, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out, and then boy, did I check it out. So it started out with me just doing like one of the smaller classes specifically for self-healing. You had a program you were running, Alicia, and once I got to experience those first 30 alignments or whatever they were, I was like, oh my God, where has this been my whole life? This is the missing piece that's been waiting for me to discover it for my entire existence. And then I don't think I can even put into words the amount of growth, expansion, and just pure magic that came into my life as a result of doing this work and studying with you, Alicia. And my business expanded exponentially. My sessions have gained a level of depth that I could not imagine possible, even with all the super skills of emotional integration that I used to possess and provide for my clients, but it just went into a whole new dimension. My clairs have opened up and expanded, and also in ways I couldn't imagine. And I was able to really surrender into them in a whole new way and accept and lean into what was coming through in a much more grounded way.
Yes.
I think this was one of the big things is it provided me with the grounding that I needed to be able to then expand, because we can't go up unless we're really rooted down. And that's something that really helped me with that. And then I also have a little 5.5-year-old daughter who is an absolute, fairy creature spirit who is extremely sensitive to energies. And I've had a few situations with her where we had energies come into her space at night and she had nightmares, and I was able to clear things out of her space, and like literally I would clear things and the nightmares would stop. So that was really powerful. And I have pockets of energy coming through every day. I have new alignments revealing themselves to me in every session with every client that I do, that are just pouring through like magic. And then I think one of the really big pieces for me too is that while I am very skilled and was doing this work for a long time, I'm very skilled at holding space for other people. But what learning Sacred Soul Alignment and all the other initiations that I went through was your work, Alicia, is this taught me and allowed me to hold space for myself in a whole new way, which was profoundly healing. So very grateful. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Victoria, for sharing that. I haven't gotten to hear from you yet on one of these roundtables, I don't think. So I love that. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know a few of you guys have your hands raised. I'm going to go in the order of who's asked me. So I'm going to go with Athena, Jill, and then Carol. So Athena, I'm going to bring you on. Hello, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Good to see you too. Thank you for the invitation. I'm excited to share that I've been a practitioner since 2018. And I became certified I was in a dead-end marriage where I had been wanting to leave for a couple years, and I was afraid to. Within a couple months of being certified and going through the program, I left that marriage. My self-esteem, my self-worth, my strength and power just catapulted. And I had started doing oracle card readings and psychic readings shortly before being certified, and that absolutely amplified everything. So it amplified what I could receive for others. More specifically, we psychics know that we always get more for others than we do ourselves, but it also really reinforced my intuition. And what I've manifested since then has been just absolutely mind blowing. I always dreamed of Hawaii, and I manifested a move to Hawaii for about 6 months.
Awesome.
And a move to Sedona, Arizona. A lot of people are familiar with that. And my soulmate, I'm married to somebody that I could never have imagined would be that perfect for me previous to the program.
Wow, I love
I
it.
know. Thank you. And then just like, a lot of the other practitioners that have been discussing, I also have children. And for instance, my 7-year-old boy, we had a lot of behavioral issues with him after living with his father for a while and running sacred soul alignments on him. His behavior did a 360. It was absolutely mind-blowing. He came to us just really aggressive, really violent, was hurting like insects. If he'd see insects, he would kill them. And running alignments with him and clearing his energy, he became the sweetest, most compassionate, empathic boy I've ever seen. And so he goes out of his way now to save insects, save bees, save lizards.
Wow.
And then I have a 9-year-old daughter who's very empathic. So we use SSA for clearing her energy after school and various things like that. So I absolutely use it often in my own life. I'm a completely different person than I was when I started. And I would say 95, if not more, percent of the time with clients, I do other modalities. I'm a Akashic record reader and things, but 97 probably percent of the time I bring in SSA as well. It's always coming in that they're going to benefit from that. So
Love it. That's beautiful. Thank you. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in like face to face like this for a while. And such an important share again about our children. The fact that you were able to help your son clear whatever was going on with him from living with his father and whatever happened there, and turn that around at such a young age is so important. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to bring Jill on, and then next will be Carol.
Hey there.
Jill.
So I'm Julie Maria. I've been an Akashic Records practitioner since I think 2018 or 2019. Time has really smooshed and gone very fast. When I first started, I was an Akashic Records practitioner, Reiki master before I started Sacred Soul Alignments. But Alicia, I know I was following you for like a couple years. And I kept getting to the space of like, no, it's not time to do Sacred Soul Alignments yet. It's not time to do Sacred Soul Alignments yet. And I don't remember what you did, but I had done 1 or 2 of your little smaller programs. And then I remember you made it impossible to say no. And I also knew at that time, because I had just like 3 days prior, and I think I've told you this before, but like 3 days prior to that day, I had been like, nope, this is going to be a time, like 6 months or so, we just integrate stuff and we're going to just not do anything, no healing, no new modalities, no nothing. And then boom. And I follow my intuition. And so it was like, I sat there and I, did body pendulum, and it was like, yes, you're taking this. Okay, fine. So fast forward to now where I've taken Sacred Soul Alignment, Sacred Soul Advanced, Co-Creating Miracles of Sacred Light Foundations 1 and 2. And what I will say is that, echoing what other people have said, is dramatically changed my life, up-leveled my clairs. And I think one of the important things for people that it's really important to speak into is you do a lot for free, but I want to speak into the piece about investing, because when we physically put our financial energy, our money, where our mouth is, and we commit our financial resources we pay to pay attention. And when we do that, it shifts. You tell the universe, I'm committed to my process. I'm committed to my growth. And that doesn't matter my growth personally and my growth professionally, because I mean, I do this for a living. I'm an Akashic Records practitioner. I'm a Sacred Soul Alignments practitioner. I do very deep intuitive trauma healing work. And it has amplified my confidence, my clairs. Every single time I've taken a class with you, something has shifted, and in a positive way. And I think that really can't be overstated, because so often what I see a lot of people doing is, and I don't want to say they want something for nothing, but there's so much lack programming, and there's so much fear, especially the last 2+ years. There's so much like, if you're not doing it the Western medicine way, And what I know for sure is that I run alignments are an everyday part of my life at this point. I mean, and I run COVID for myself every single day. It's funny because I always say about my allergies, I'm like, yeah, they really suck for about a month there. And the reality of my life is that I didn't have the alignments for every different thing. I mean, from releasing anger and resentment to, collapsing timelines to the writing bacteria and virus and parasite release on not only the cats at the cat rescue that I volunteer at, but with my own cats.
Right.
I would have very expensive vet bills.
Right.
But I
Yeah,
know
you've done a lot with that.
where I run them. I just instinctively, it's like, well, what do you know to run? I'm like, well, I'm very intuitive. And the other thing that I noticed when I enrolled in Sacred Soul Alignments and then the advanced course and on and on and on, is that every time I enrolled and I either was paying in full or I was, doing a payment plan. And if you got to do a payment plan, y'all, no shame in your game. Is that my clairs amplified, and I got clearer and I got stronger. The business got stronger. I got more confidence. And I'm at the point now where there's a gigantic shift that's already happening in my business, such that I'm shifting everything I do. My new programs that are going to launch this summer, none of them will not have Sacred Soul Alignments. Because I believe that strongly in their power. I feel like the Akashic Records for me are very, they're kind of the backhoe. Like, they pull up and expose the things that need to be healed. And then I use the Sacred Soul Alignments to do that deep healing, that really the very, I was thinking like needlework, but like going in and doing the psychic surgery and being very particular about what the thing is. Cause like a lot of people will say, I want abundance. And I'm like, get really specific. And then when we dive into that further, they'll say, oh yeah, it's a self-worth issue, or it's a trauma thing, or it's a, it's a past life trauma thing, or it's a, I was told that I would never be good enough. So I can get more, the nice thing about Sacred Soul Alignments is you can get even more specific.
Yes.
And more specific and more specific. And I'm in the space where I mean, between all the little freebie things that I've done and the, gifts that you've given us. And, you're honestly, and if you're watching this and you're debating, you're like, if you're debating the value, let me tell you something. Every class that I've taken with Alicia that I've invested in has paid me back 2, 3, 5, 10-fold at this point. And Alicia is one of the most generous people. And I know a lot of people in this healing arts community, and she is one of the most generous people, just between what she gives you, her time, her energy. And then that's not even to speak about the bonuses and everything else. Like, holy crap. You will up-level your life. You will shift and change. Even if you don't use Sacred Soul Alignments like out front in your business or out front with clients and you just use them for your everyday life, people that know in my family will be like, can you do that thing you do with the alignments? And I'll say, yeah, what's going on? And they'll tell me and I'll go, okay. And it gives me the ability to, to be more intuitive and more in tune with them and give them this curiosity piece where they go, I don't know what you're doing, but go ahead and do it. So
Right.
I am incredibly grateful to you. I'm incredibly grateful that that I listen to my intuition, and I'm so grateful for Sacred Soul Alignment. So that's my piece. I'll
Beautiful.
shut up.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jill. I always love hearing from you. Replace that. There we go. And you spoke to something that is important, which is investing in ourselves. And I do a lot of free healing out there, as all of you guys know who are in my group. We've been doing a lot this last couple of weeks. But there is an important piece there, especially when we are really ready to step in to that next iteration of ourself. And investing in ourselves is really, it's in my opinion, investing in ourselves and our personal growth is the best investment that we can make. And I do have payment plans for this class because I want to make it possible for whoever is really called to this work to be able to fit that in to your budget, if possible. And I do have a couple of different payment plans. So I know when I started, I couldn't invest in anything, and I would go to the library and check out books. And I've talked about this. I probably read every single book in the 158 section of the Dewey Decimal section of the library, because at that time in my life, I couldn't afford to go take classes. And then I took a class. The very first class that I ever took was $500. I remember saving up for months for that class. So I understand what it's like to invest in yourself when it's on the edge and you're not quite sure, is this going to be worth it? And so for those of you that are really in that place, I would never tell anybody, yes, spend some money that you don't have. But what I would invite you to do is to just sink into your heart and ask yourself, is this the right thing for me? And is this safe? Is it safe for me to make this investment? Because a lot of times when we're afraid of something and we think it's a money issue, we think it's, I can't afford that. If we really take a look at it, yes, there are times when it is a money issue, and yes, we can't afford it. And in that case, then do the free things and build up to it when you're ready. But if you're in that place, what my invitation to you would be to just drop into your heart and just sit with it and see what shows up for you, because I hear this a lot from people. So thank you for bringing that up, Jill. And I'm going to bring Carol on. And then let me know, for those of you who are still here, who would like to go next. Hello, Carol.
Hi, Alicia. Hi. So this is my first time on the Roundtable.
Yes.
I am fairly new to your Sacred Soul programs. I came in through another practitioner that I was on my own healing journey, and through another practitioner was introduced to Sacred Soul Alignments and was absolutely amazed at how quickly and how easily they worked to relieve issues that I had been dealing with for years, that I had tried other modalities and things just wouldn't clear. And as I say, I went through Sacred Soul with another practitioner and things just cleared right away with no difficulty. They went through with ease, and it was absolutely amazing. And the practitioner was very supportive throughout the process. And then I saw your one of your promotions for level 1 practitioner, and I got so excited that I jumped on it right away. I wasn't sure whether I could afford it or not, but I went in anyway and have never looked back. I've used it for my own personal healing so far. I have gently recently stuck my toe in the water of taking on clients. And again, through the other practitioners, they were all so supportive and offered me great tips and encouragement when I was ready to do that. So now I'm doing level 2 and level 3. But yeah, I can't say enough about the alignments. They're amazing. I use them almost every day. I use a pendulum now to intuitively attune while my clairs develop. I find my pendulum is spot on all the time. But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I love all the free things that you do. You give back so much to everybody, and the investing in ourselves. Yes, I was nervous in the beginning to make an investment, but it was the best thing I ever did. So
Beautiful.
yeah, it's really amazing.
Thank you so much, Carol. It's really a pleasure to have you on this roundtable with us. And I love hearing how your guys' stories. This is really fun. Thank you. Okay, a couple of you guys have your hands raised. So I'm going to go with Adrian and then Jennifer and then Allison. So Adrian, hello.
Hello.
Beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. So I came through, I guess, I actually followed Alicia for a long time, like a stalker before I ever actually did anything. And then I'm one of those people that she talked about that really didn't have a lot of money. I come from a real bad poverty issue. I'm still working on that even now. But I think there was like a community she created, and I just paid monthly. And I just remember I paid on it for so long. I remember she said, Adrian, we're closing the group. You've been paying for so long. Let's get you certified. So I ended up getting into the certification. And after doing that, I created Astronumerland, which is something I'm still excited about, and I still get clients on. And it's where I integrate astrology, numerology, and alignment. So I just felt that as an astrologer, I would tell them what their chart said. But then at the end, I didn't have anything to heal them,
right,
or to help them. And I would send them off feeling, I just felt icky, like I didn't give them enough. But now I can ask their permission, and then I can run alignments for them. And they seem to like it, and they feel more, just come back.
right,
They feel like you've done something good for them.
right.
On a personal level, Alicia, I always tell my story, it gets better every time. So it kind of bypassed me at first, this feeling of wealth and abundance and opulence. I'm still working on that. But my daughter is done so well, the generational wealth thing, and she did let me run those alignments on her. And ever since then, I mean, she was mid six figures last year. She's got her own house, they've got a car. It's beautiful. I'm watching my baby grow up well, and I really believe it's because of the alignments. I really do. Also for myself, it just seems to get better and better and better. So for me, I got to say this, because every once in a while people come to me now because of money. Isn't this weird? Since that was my issue.
Right.
And I'm the monetized influence lady, which is crazy. Who would ever thought that? And this morning I got an announcement from Facebook that they approved me for this new promo, or they're paying their people.
Yes.
So it's like the money just keeps coming in from all these weird spots. And I'll say this one last thing. I had this experience. I had bounced in my check because of a client, long story. And it was the first of the month. So it created this domino effect. When I say a domino effect, it was horrendous. So I created this, like, help me pay my rent sale. Overnight, I went to bed, it was minus 300. I woke up, it was 2,400.
Wow. Great job.
Yeah, that's why I love you. I want to thank you so much for all you've done. And wow, if you guys knew my story, just telling this it's amazing. And thank you.
Yes, I know your story. I know how far you've come, and thank you for sharing that, Adrian. It's always a pleasure to have you on here and to see your beautiful face. Thank you. I forget who I said I was bringing on next, because now I think everybody has their hand raised. So I'm just going to move right on through. So Jennifer, I'm going to bring you on. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm fairly new to my awakening process. When I first started contemplating investing my energy into a modality, I was actually working with 3 different mentors and teachers for probably a year in their free programs before I had actually decided who I wanted. And when I decided, it was basically because I was in a healing that Alicia was doing, and she changed things up because she had received a new download, and I felt like it was meant just for me. So that was when I knew that she was the person that I needed to work with. I was extremely blessed that within days of that, I received some back pay that was owed to me, and so I jumped in with both feet and paid in full that time. And I've never looked back. She's helped me to reinforce my own beliefs, while helping me understand them and why I felt that way, with the scientific background that she provides, and just helping you open your mind to those things. Every day that I use her alignments, I feel more grounded, balanced, more confident, joyful, more empowered. So yeah, it definitely does make a big difference. And I would recommend this to anybody. I've watched her over the last year constantly changing up her modalities and her alignments and her tools. And she's always improving on those things. And every time it's right when I need it, it seems like. So yeah, it's just amazing. Thank you.
I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. That was beautiful. And yes, I am constantly upgrading things because we're all constantly upgrading. And I've had a lot of personal growth and changes and upgrades this year. And that naturally results in everything that's coming through me being upgraded as well. And at one point in time, I thought, okay, I've got this class created, it's recorded. I can just sit back and, keep running this class live and just do the Q&As and it's done. And it's, wow, this is easy. Nope, that's never going to happen. I've come to realize it's going to constantly be upgrading and up leveling. And we're going to all be expanding with the times, and just like sacred soul alignment is going to be constantly expanding with the times. So thank you for bringing that up, Jennifer, because it's something that I am very passionate about, keeping this modality updated and fresh and as expansive and new as possible. Almost every time I teach, I will tweak the energy packets of the alignments and bring whatever I have that I've created that's new since the last time I taught into these energy packets that I call alignments. So, okay, beautiful. I think I said I was going to bring Allison on next, and then I'm going to bring Sherry on. So Allison.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, it's good to see you.
Yeah, I was certified in, I think, 2018. And, I've been doing different kinds of healing work, going all the way back to the 90s. And I had some really amazing mentors, teachers. And when I came across Alicia, I think it was 2017 when I first encountered you on Facebook. And I've done other things in my life, between the 90s and then, but I just recognized the elements of sacred soul alignment that were like the flowering of all the things I've been taught previously. So when you're talking about energy getting more sophisticated, it's just like there's more downloads on the planet about all the different modalities. It just struck me so strongly that this is such the real deal that I have to, connect with you and try to expose myself to like all the things that you've been shown. And you're just such an incredible teacher. And anyone who is possibly considering working with Alicia, the way that she shares her knowledge is, instead of teaching, she shares. And so that's the sense of being in a family, is that we're all learning along with you. What's being shown to you, then you show to others. And it's just so powerful. And I'm just so grateful.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Allison. It's great to see you, as always. Yeah. And that was a beautiful share. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I love how we're just moving right through and getting in so many of these beautiful shares. I'm going to go ahead and bring Sherry on. And as I bring you on, Sherry, I just want to also say that just something that I have to share about Sherry. Sherry and I know each other very well. And Sherry is going to be a guest teacher in Sacred Soul Alignment Level 2, which is now the certification. So I have 3 guest teachers so far for that class. I've outsourced things that I don't feel like I'm the expert on. And what Sherry is definitely one of the things that Sherry is an expert on is color. And so Sherry's going to be doing a special class for us in the level 2 certification on color frequencies to go along with the color series of alignments. So I'm excited about that. And thank you for being here today, Sherry.
Thank you. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you for having me. I probably owe Alicia more than most people in this group from the Sacred Soul Alignments. But I do want to expand on one thing that you said, Alicia, which is the creativity of this. And I don't know if that's been covered. The creativity of being able to use these alignments and then make cocktails. She calls them cocktails, but being able to combine different alignments for whatever you're going through. So being a creative person, I'm like, wow, this is so cool. I mean, if I have a specific thing I'm going through, I can create that alignment cocktail, which is just those alignments that address that, and then just run them. So the creativity, this is just exponential. So I thought I would just throw that in.
I love it.
That really, really loves the creativity. This is not a cookie cutter type program at all. You can do with it so many different things. And she says that, but I just have to reiterate that. It's just amazing. So my experience goes back to having a severe illness way back in 2016, 17. I was actually diagnosed with ALS at that time and not in a good shape. I mean, get your affairs in order, and you're going to find I have a sense of humor. So this was serious, but I can joke about it. Get your affairs in order because you're not going to be here 2 years. And so I had been on my healing journey many, many years before this because I'd had a near-death experience back in 2006. So I was very well aware. Only I had to crank up. Things kind of escalated. Then you're in deep shit here. So anyway, long story short. I had known Alicia previously, seen her online, heard about this, that I was in with another practitioner, very, and then she all of a sudden quit. I'm like, oh boy, what am I going to do? So it was like, I had known her, I had seen her, I had people talking about she was the best healer on the planet. I remember that. You remember?
Wow.
You remember? She's the best healer on the planet. And I'm like, well, you know what? I need the best healer on the planet right now. This is what I need. So Alicia had a retreat back in 2018 in Washington and Bainbridge. It was amazing. So I was both feet in, and really, honestly, it was a struggle for me to get there because I was so compromised physically, very, very compromised. And that was the turnaround for me. And I was really grateful to see how you've restructured this, Alicia, so people can experience it for themselves before they do the certification, because that is so important to really immerse yourself in the feeling and the dynamics of what this can do for you. And then when you feel that, you'll be able to get the certification to do that on other people. I think that is just amazing the way you have restructured that. So I really, really am excited for people jumping in and being able to use it on yourself to feel the transformation for yourself.
Thank you.
So that is my experience with it. And of course, as time has evolved, there's no trace of that in my system or any part of my life. So this is my testament. I mean, I've done a lot of work. It's not an overnight miracle. But when you're consistent and you're committed and you do the work and you put the work into it, you get the work out of it. That's just the way it is. And that's what has happened to me. So
absolutely.
What it has done for me is also, as I have done it now, I first was the person that I was I was the one receiving it is what I'm trying to say. You know, I've worked with Alicia and I also worked with Kimberly. And so I was the one receiving the energy. The progression, it became the practitioner, became the advanced practitioner, and now do this as a business. So this is what I do for others. And it has evolved also my own healing modality, which goes back to the color. I started color way back in the 2000s, and I was doing color personality tests for people and telling them what their personality is. And it's similar to you, Adrian, about the astrology, right? So when you tell them what their personality, how the soul expresses color, and then I didn't have anything to heal them. It's like they walk away thinking, oh, well, what do I do? And so this was so great to have these tools then. When you have an overabundance of one color that's showing up in your personality, then okay, you have tools to help people. So now, as I've progressed and up-leveled, my modality is called the Golden Pearl Elixir, which comprises the whole color rays, these are high dimensional color rays that I work with now. So the color class that I'm coming in to do, I'm so excited about, is the language of color. And it will span everything from, like, I'm wearing blue today. Blue is the color of communication. It helps us communicate to people. It's how we respond to color and how color influences us. For example, when you walk into McDonald's and you see, not I don't, but I'm giving an example. We're seeing the yellow and the red. They want you in and out. They don't want you hanging around. Yellow, we're making the decision really fast, and those red boots, like in and out. But you go into fine dining and you see colors that are more muted and deep, earthy colors. They want you to hang around and order the drinks and order the courses and all this. You think of a green room that you go into whenever someone is on a TV show. The green room, it relaxes. It's very relaxing. You go into a red room and you're going to get excited. You're going to get motivated. This is how the color, I can go. I don't want to go on.
No, it's a good preview for your class for level 2.
Color is the most influential thing we have in our existence. It influences so much, and some people are colorblind because they don't understand the language, or they're not aware of the language of color. So this is what my color class and it's going to be about, that awareness of how color is influencing us, and then how we can also use it to influence things for ourselves. So I'm so excited about that, and I really hope you can join us for that too. So
yes, yay! Thank you, Sherry. That was beautiful. I love the color of your sweater. Reminds me of Caroline Nixon's wall in her room. Yes, and so that was a beautiful share. Thank you, beautiful testimonial. And I remember when you came to that retreat, and really, Kim and I worked with you to try to clear what was going on, so that when your body, so that you could be there, and you were able to make it, and we were so happy. And I'm so excited for your class in level 2 and the certification that's going to be taking place in the summer. Those of you who do know that you want to be certified in sacred soul alignment and do this work with others, I do have a highly discounted bundle available that you can purchase both levels 1 and 2. You get attuned to the majority of the alignments to be able to use with others. You get almost everything that I've created with sacred soul alignment. And I think you save $1,000. I think it's around $2,600 for both levels. And if you are interested in learning more about that, you can send me a message or email my team at hello@aliciahartzell.com. It's not mentioned on the registration page for level 1, so you'll need to reach out to us. I just wanted to avoid confusion and not mention it on that registration page. But anyway, thank you, Sherry. Now I'm all excited for that. Let's see who. I'm going to bring Lucia on. You have your hand raised. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here. I've loved all the stories. They're so amazing. I can share, or I want to share a little bit about myself and my progress and my journey here and up to today. I started with, I came across your program, I want to say it was in 2017. Fairly new to the spiritual healing journey, not knowing a whole lot about the terminology, asking a lot of questions about, okay, what is the soul? What is intuition? How do I know my intuition? How do I sense it? How do I feel it? Still feel today not quite there, but it's growing. Coming through the classes, coming through the group, I've seen more of the sacred soul alignments in my children. They're all grown, but I also see them in my grandkids, which I know is a reflection of using them in me, healing my own wounds, healing my own traumas, healing my own doubts, my own fears, my own bullshit. But I can see it, especially within the last 6 months with my, with my kids that are grown. I have my oldest who didn't go to college and now is being trained to be a CAD designer, something like that, where he, I guess, draws designs for buildings and things like that. My second son is going through at 31 the second part of his chief's promotion in the Navy. My youngest, my daughter, I've seen her in her relationship gain strength, be able to speak for herself, stand up for herself, put herself first, which for me has been a long battle. I've been a long time people pleaser, very quiet, very shy, very not confident, not self-assured, not a lot of issues with self-love. But can honestly say, starting to actually like the reflection in the mirror because of the alignments, because of being able to use these on a daily basis or when I feel I need them the most. I've also noticed them with my cats. I went through a period where I wasn't, one of my cats, she lost her hair. She wasn't doing really well. And so I was able to resentment, anger release, guilt, shame, and some of the other healing alignments. Sorry. I started running those on a regular basis. And I noticed she was starting to get better. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's got to be helping me if it's helping her.
Right.
Even I know they hold on to a lot of our energy for us, but I was just like, okay, I know this is working. I can see it in those around me. And now I'm actually starting to feel it in me.
That's
So,
beautiful. That's beautiful, Lucia. Thank you.
so
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the, thank you for the group that you've put together and the modality. And I've loved seeing how it has transformed not only myself, but the classes themselves. I love watching how they progress and they transform, and you have too. So thank you for being the
Thank you.
teacher,
Yes,
the mentor that you are.
you're welcome. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful share. Thank you. And that just really brings up an important point also that I want to mention. And then I'm going to bring on Lorna. Sometimes the changes that are happening within us are reflected back around us before we actually see them on the inside. And so that can be a really important thing to remember when we get frustrated with, why aren't things changing? I'm seeing all these things show up, around me, but it's not changing within me yet. And that's just a reminder that it actually is. And then all of a sudden it seems like things will shift, and it's like all that accumulation of healing work will suddenly just drop in. So thank you for mentioning that, Lucia. And I'm going to bring Lorna on. Hello, thank you for being here. I love your background.
Oh, that's one of the crystal grids that I did. So that's the influence of Karina.
Oh yes, Karina's got some amazing things out there.
Yeah. So aloha mai. That's it's hello to everyone. So nice to be here. I sorry I'm late, but I was doing something else in another course, but I'm really happy to be here. I love this community, and I was singing your praises in the other group.
I know, thank you.
Telling them about, how I discovered you guys and how I enjoy it so much. I mean, the community is just awesome. I mean, Elisa has this amazing way of instilling her heart into everybody who comes into this course. And it's really beautiful how everybody supports each other here, and we send each other healing. And it's really great for doing self-esteem work. I mean, in learning how to do the alignments, you have to deal with your own stuff.
Yes.
And I know the first time I took the first Sacred Soul Alignments 1, I thought, oh, I can usually take a couple of these courses and breeze right through it. And I was taking this and another course, and I had to stop the other course because I wasn't hacking it. I mean, it's very gentle. It seems like it's not complicated, but it's really, really powerful. I mean, the energetics of these alignments, what she has put into it, really goes to the subconscious and gets into your soul and does the healing for you, and also teaches you how to do that for others. It's an amazing modality, and I really love it. And I think it's the best deal out there also, because I looked.
Thank you for saying that. Yes, I agree.
I was actually looking at DNA alignments, and then I ran across you, and this is so much more than DNA alignments. And frankly, I feel like DNA alignments were a fad. I mean, it's real. A lot of people jumped into that when it was trending, and they did not know what they were doing, and they were way overcharging for it. It was crazy. And I just kind of stood back and went, I don't know about that stuff. And then Spirit led me to you. And you were talking about alignments. I thought, what's a soul alignment? How is that different from DNA? And I wasn't really sure, but I kept watching you for the 30 days, when you're promoting, and I could feel your energy. I'm a natural organic energy healer. I've been one all my life. It came in that way. I just didn't figure it out until I hit about 40. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
But when I was watching you, I immediately tuned into your energy. I felt it. And every time I watched you, I was like, yes, this is right. This is how it is. I can feel the flow. Yeah, I want to do this. And I didn't really understand what all it was, but I knew that you were flowing energy very similarly to how I do, except you're doing it much higher level with a lot more stuff. And so a lot more techniques that are blended in the theta, and just so much. And I decided, I got to do this. I did a payment plan, and I got in, and I'm so happy. I haven't looked back. I mean, it's just really a great place to be. I think it's a smart investment. I still think, even though the price has gone up somewhat, it's still the best deal out there for learning how to do it, to heal yourself and become certified. I still think it's an excellent deal. And even if you don't go out and do it as a business, you're going to receive so much in your personal life, spiritually, emotionally. It's really great. I can't say enough good things.
Beautiful.
I sound like a groupie.
A group, that's okay. I don't mind. Thank you. Thank you for that share. That was beautiful.
You're very welcome.
You guys are sharing so many amazing things. And we have a couple more people that have not gone. Thank you, Lorna. So Gladys, you have your hand raised. Let's see. Ask to start video. How do we do this? And then I think I can replace.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry. How are you? Hello,
Good.
everyone.
How are you?
I'm
Thank you
doing
for being
good.
here.
Thank you, as always. Your generosity and your love and your commitment is superb. You know, it's awesome. I'm a natural born healer. I've been around this like for 30 years. I've been with SSA from about 2018, I want to say. But I was introduced on a practice call with my best friend Gita. And I, like, long story short, my mom had been married like 30 years, and no matter what I did, I could not get over not liking my stepfather. And in one swoop session, I went from not talking to him to accepting him as a stepfather.
Wow.
And yeah, and it was mind blowing at how full of ease that transition was, because it wasn't, it wasn't pounding the pavement and it was just so smooth. It was like a soul cleanse, but entirely and swiftly and lovingly. And that immediately turned me on to the fact that you don't have to suffer to heal. You don't have to go about all these everything one does to heal is valid as long as you're healing.
Yes.
But that sacrifice, that hurt, that pain was not there. It was just so smooth. And I mean, if there's anything anybody needs to know is that, like, I do things for me. I'm my first client, period. I try things out for me, because in order for you to help others, you need to rise up to that next level of healing. And I fell in love with it, still in love with it. I make my cocktails, working with FFA, like you've heard over and over again, your clairs continue to open masterfully. Your intuition grounds itself. You just become more aware of that deep-seated power that comes with you when you come to this planet. And there's nothing like it. Like, do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for those around you, do it for those potential clients that are waiting for you, whether they're paid or not. Everybody in your space, like, if you're here because it's called you in. And there are people waiting for you to answer their call. Hopefully, you'll find out how you plan on doing it in life, because getting paid for it is great, and being of service is also great. So don't hold back. Know that you're, Alicia is an awesome guide, filled with love, knowledge. You've heard it over and over. She consistently upgrades and up-levels herself, and therefore everyone in her space. So, that's really all I want to say. And thank you so much for having heard the call yourself for all of us.
Thank you. That was beautiful, Gladys. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you bring up such an important point again, that the most, and I say this all the time, the most important work that we do is the work that we do on ourselves, which is why I have redesigned Sacred Soul Alignment. Before I talk any more about that, I want to just give, oh, no, she jumped off. Okay. Trina was going to have to go, and I thought I'd give her a second to be able to hop in, but she had to go to her kids' school. So I think we have gotten to everyone. Thank you guys so much for being on here, for sharing your experiences with Sacred Soul Alignment and what these tools and this community is doing for you in your life, and the ripple effects that you are all creating, whether it's within your own family or within clients and other people that you're working with out there in the world. So if you are feeling called to this course, you know it in your heart, you can feel it, and this is really your invitation to join us. We're starting next week, actually a week from today. So the time is now to dive in and jump in. And if you are wondering if this is for you, then hopefully you got some answers by listening to what some of these amazing ladies have had to share here today. And one more invitation, that if you're just still not sure, if you're just wondering, is this for me, is that I would just invite you to sit in your heart, just get connected to your own heart, and just really feel into this program and all of the tools that this has to offer. Go and take a look at the registration page. You can find it. I'll put the link in, but you can just go to sacredsoulalignment.com and click right on the top there at the link and just look through the course, look through the program, the bonuses. There's incredible bonuses, and just sit with it and see really if you are feeling the call, because if you are, then we can't wait to welcome you into the family. So if you have any questions about this course, please do post them under this video, or you can email us at hello@aliciahartzell.com, and my team will either answer your questions or get in touch with me so that I can answer them for you. And I can't wait to see who's joining us next week already. So thank you guys so much for watching, for staying on with us. I know there's quite a few people that I could tell that stayed on for this whole event, for this whole hour and a half beautiful share. And thank you for all of you guys who joined me to share your experiences. For those of you who are in the US celebrating Mother's Day this weekend, happy Mother's Day, and I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. I'll be popping in and out of the group between now and then. But right now, I'm going to go drink some tea and have some time with my daughter, who is here visiting from North Carolina. So have a great afternoon or evening, everybody. So much love, and bye for now. Thank you, everyone.